so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flame. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich with life.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Podcast. I'm so pumped. I have missed my friend Arielle for so long, and finally we're hooking up again to have a nice little discussion today. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Scott? It's been a minute.
It has. I'm doing well.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I don't even remember when we last connected and talked, to be honest.
It would have been early last summer.
Okay. So kind of the same time-ish.
Yes. So we have a lot to talk about because you did a lot this off season. And I want to talk about a lot of it because there was some interesting stuff and new stuff that came out this off season. But before we get into all that, I found a TV show that I fell in love with.
Is it called Landman?
It is.
Yeah. I've heard so many people talk about it because it's based in Midland, Texas, where we live.
Exactly.
We have yet to watch it, though, but I hear great things.
Well, so it is based in the oil industry.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about this place called The Patch, where like it's a lot of like just mass open oil fields.
Yep.
And that they have like a village where the people who work in those oil fields kind of live, and it's like just rows of itty bitty houses.
Yep. Called man camps is what we call them.
That's what they call it on the show.
Yep. 100%. So where we live is an oil field, like the oil field city of America. So there's an oil rig. We could throw a stone to it from our house. They're all around us.
So it became one of my favorite shows immediately. But I thought of you and Dylan like the minute it came on when they said they were in Midland.
Yeah, that's us. So we'll have to watch it. I've heard it's pretty accurate. The stuff they talk about is like what actually happens on the rigs and stuff. But man, I can't tell you the last time I sat down and watched a TV show. So I'm so out of it with all the good ones, but that is on our list to watch.
So when I had a daughter that was Blakely's age, we didn't watch TV either. We didn't watch movies. We didn't watch, like, all I saw was Disney and Nickelodeon.
Yeah. If there's time for that in the evenings.
Yeah. Well, it was only with her. Like,
oh,
yeah.
How fun. Yeah, we have usually Sunday nights. We do family night and we'll all sit down and watch a movie and pick out, like this past week, we watched Holes. Do you remember the classic Holes? Yeah. Or like Sonic 2 we watched a few weeks ago. It's her probably favorite time of the week, but only once a week do we have time to sit down at 7:00 and watch a movie.
It's funny because my daughter's biggest movie when she was a kid was either Willy Wonka, either the original Willy Wonka or the Johnny Depp Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Funny.
And so she's now going to be 24 this summer. She came home at Christmas and we actually watched Wonka with Timothée Chalamet, the brand new one.
You like it?
It was like family night all over again 20 years later.
Yep. No, when that came out, we listened to that soundtrack in the car for probably a month or two straight. There's some good songs on there.
Yeah, it was a good movie. My daughter teared up at the end and it was really kind of cool.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to ask you if Midland was really like that. The only thing that doesn't seem accurate is they drive to Fort Worth a lot.
Man, I'll be honest. People in the oil field, they're on flights. They're driving everywhere at all times. Like Joelle is always going to rigs. I don't know if Fort Worth is the spot, but basically wherever the rigs are, they're driving to. Could be New Mexico, could be Dallas, could be Fort Worth. But I mean, I'm not directly into the oil field. Dylan's job is not directly in the oil field. So there's a lot I don't know that like my neighbor would probably know a lot more.
I think they just made it seem closer than it is in reality.
Yeah, it's not close.
Right. And what was in Fort Worth was the oil company's headquarters.
Got it.
So like the landman is the go-between between the corporate office and the guys in the fields.
Got it.
And he would drive back and forth.
Man, yeah, at least 5 hours is what you're looking at.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I had a bone to pick with you is you guys were in Columbus and didn't stop by and say hi.
I'm not gonna lie, Scott. I forgot you live there. How far are you from Ohio?
I'm in downtown Columbus. I mean, I'm not in downtown Columbus. I'm in Columbus.
Man, we
Like
should
a
have reached
15-minute
out.
drive to the Arnold.
Dang it. Yeah, I completely spaced and forgot.
So, where my old office was before I worked from home was maybe a half a mile from Rogue headquarters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Did you realize it when we were there?
When I saw your socials, I did, but I'll be honest with you. I used to work security for the Arnold, and I avoid that place like the plague now because
There's
there
a
are just
lot of
way
people.
too many people.
Yeah. Talk about like I've seen Vendor Village before. I've been to like the CrossFit events. It's nothing compared to like the expo at the Arnold. It
There's
blew my
nothing.
mind how many companies there are, and there's just like thousands. So many.
And you can barely get down the aisles to see any of them.
Exactly. And half of them look the exact same, but they're in a different place. You know, it's like all anything you could think of.
Yeah. Yeah. But I thought it was cool that you got brought up by Rogue, right?
Oh, 100%. Oh, I thought that
And
was so cool. And it's the first vacation I've taken where it's strictly, I'm not competing. So I don't have to worry about performance, anything. It was just, okay, we're going to have fun. That's it.
but you ended up competing with Dylan.
Yeah, but all in good fun. All in good fun. What's nice, like that's one thing I love about our relationship. Like we're not just gonna go there and stand around. It's like, oh, here's Red Bull cans. Like we keep a little fire in it. He's like, I want to hold it for this long. See if you can hold it longer. So that was natural, and it was like, hey, let's just see who's stronger. Some things I knew he was gonna win, like the grip and that stuff. But you know, just having fun because we could only look at so many vendors for so many hours. We're like, now we're gonna try the vendors.
When I was working security, they would let us in like an hour before the doors open to go see all the vendors, and we would just like run and we would sample everything.
Oh
By
yeah,
the time I was done in that hour, I could have jumped to the roof.
I
I had
believe it.
so much like caffeine in me, and
Fake stuff, synthetics, all of yeah.
yeah,
But the funniest thing was you would expect protein companies galore, pre-workout galore, belts, knee sleeve. The funniest vendor was for leaf guard for gutters. Because we're like, what the heck is this at the Arnold? But Dylan did gutters in his past career. So he was just like, this is great. Tell me about your leaf guard.
I don't think the line for the leaf guards
No.
were as long as some of the others.
Yeah. No, there was no line. Believe it or not, nobody was looking at it.
Did you get any kind of preferential seats for like the strongman or any of the events or
No, that was the hard part because there's so many people. So like the bodybuilding, like what everybody's there for, was kind of hard to see because if you weren't there seated in the front, it wasn't raised. So you couldn't see but what was on the screen. The strongmen, man, they brought in a crowd. So we just kind of like sat where we could. But no, there was no VIP special treatment. Not that I need it, but it's just wild to see just like the mix of athletes of different calibers.
um did you do like the picture taking autograph signing at the Rogue booth?
I did. That was definitely a bucket list experience because I was like, man, who's going to show up? And then I saw they partnered me with Sam Briggs, Matt Frazier, Justin Medeiros. And I'm like, oh, there's going to be a line. And the whole hour, of course, people were there. But the funny thing was, like, I'm a realist. They're there to see Matt Frazier and Justin Medeiros, some for Briggsy. But I'm like, I'm not expecting that many people to be like, I came for you. But I did see quite a few, I'd say at least 4 to 5 women standing in line wearing my Pretty Strong for a Mom shirt. So to me, that was really cool. And I was like, hey, I know you're in line with all 4 of us, but can I get a picture with just you guys? It was really cool.
That is awesome.
It was.
So when I back in the day when I would work that, like Rich and Matt and them would all be there, the line was no matter who was in the booth, the line was always like wrapped around the booth and down the
Wild.
which is crazy.
Yeah, it was a bit like that.
You feel like a rock star for an hour.
You do. And then when the line's gone, you kind of go back to reality and not too many people know. So it's like normal walking the crowds, nobody stopping or anything.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I was
it was-
thinking as I was like prepping for this, I met you at the 2021 Granite Games.
right.
You won that weekend. And I know, like, in my mind, I never saw you exploding into what happened the next 4 years.
Oh, not at all. To be a rogue athlete, like never in a million years. It's
Have
pretty
you
cool.
ever stop and reflect and say, and just look, or are you waiting to do that till it's all over?
No, I stop and reflect a lot because I'm joyful in seasons, but in other seasons I get overwhelmed and it's a lot every day trying to improve in the comparison game. But I mean, as soon as I look back and be like, wow, I've stood on the podium, I've qualified for the games this amount. So it just helps me keep my mind in perspective when I'm like, oh, I don't really want to work out today. It's like, no, look how far you've come. This is amazing. You don't have to hit it 100%, but just go in the gym and do something. Yeah, definitely. I have to reflect a lot on the hard days.
So I don't know if you probably remember one of the first interviews we ever did together. You were in your father-in-law's house.
Yeah. Which is funny. I would love to pull that footage because, there were no doors, there was no closet doors, like ranky dank.
I think the first interview you were moving from room to room trying to get a better internet signal.
Yep.
Like it
Yep.
was crazy. And now you're in this big beautiful house that Dylan built.
Right.
Even personally, like where you've come from 4 years ago, you got something being built in your backyard that I don't think you could have ever imagined.
No. Even having the backyard to build,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, it's fun because I mean, we and Dylan know, I don't want to say we struggled because people struggle a lot worse than we did, but like we've worked hard. He worked hard to build this house. We worked hard saving money to afford it. And it's like you appreciate it because you know what it's like to live with your father-in-law for 3 years, hoping you get a house. So it's fun to sit back and reflect.
When I think that first year, I kept asking you, is the house ready? And you're like, it's getting close. It's getting like we were saying, it's getting close for like a good year and a half.
Yeah. And that is how the gym is. So Dylan is very consistent at what he's consistent at. And that's just things are perfect, but they take a little bit to get done. So same with the gym in the back. It's getting close. But I would still probably put it like 6 months, I think, realistically in my head. But what's nice about that is we own it. We're not paying a loan. We're not paying a rent on it. Like if it takes 2 years, that's a long time, but we're kind of in no rush at the same time.
It's funny because I can't even imagine that because after my work day and doing the podcast stuff and
Right.
getting dinner ready or whatever. And my wife just had like total knee replacement surgery. So I've had to do like all the cooking and
Oh
all this.
man.
By the time all that's done, like I still need to build the back steps on the back of my house right now. And it's just a set of steps.
Right. And that's where I give him props. I mean, our most recent fights have been because he stayed in the back till 12 a.m. And I'm like, hey, I'd love to fall asleep next to you at 10 p.m. instead of you rolling in at 12 p.m. So I'll give him that. Like he's good at what he does and he's not afraid to work hard. But I mean, he's working till 7 p.m., his full-time job. And then from about 9 p.m. to midnight, like I'm not forcing him to go in the back, but he just wants to get it done and he's enjoying it. Who am I to say hire somebody? Like I would love the joy of like building it with my own hands. That's his gift. That's what he's good at.
So we started this piece about you being brought up by Rogue for the Arnold. And I know you got to spend some time at Rogue headquarters, right?
Yeah. Have you ever been? You've been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I got my L1.
Okay.
And then the first ever Rogue Invitational was held there.
That's right.
And so of course, it was right down the street. We went to that. And I've been there for an open announcement and a couple other things, and then when I worked there, I would go daily and mark down my wish list.
Yep.
But when you go in that display room, and I know you guys had a custom rig built for your gym,
Right.
and you go in and see like all the possibilities.
Oh yeah. It's amazing, just the showroom, if people have never been, just to go and see that anybody can walk around there and just kind of like ogle at all the cool stuff they have. It's fun, but man, some of the stuff in there is so high quality made. Or just like, man, this stuff is top notch. But we have the rig up. We did get to see like the storage for dumbbells and kettlebells and wall balls, and it was nice. We were like, hey, this is the dimensions we want it. We want this exact thing. We were able to see a lot. And at the end of the Rogue weekend, we basically put in a huge order and was like, okay, we need this for the gym. Please give us a quote. And then we were able to go on our way. But we got to see it in person, which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. They do a really nice job with that showroom.
Yeah.
It
And
really
it's
does.
clean, immaculate. You know how you go in some gyms and it's like, oh, it's clean. But if you go in the corners, you see all the gross stuff. It's like, there's nothing hiding in any corner.
Yeah. They take really good care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw Dylan, you had the video of Dylan building the rig out,
Uh-huh.
which looked like a typical man job where you get it put together and realize you put it on backwards and then have to take it off and redo it and all the stuff, right?
Yeah, we had our friend Jody over 2 weekends ago, and she actually was looking at one of our pull-up bars, and she's like, "Is the Rogue supposed to be backwards?" So like, there's a few things he put up that look good, but like it's facing the wall instead of being flipped around and facing this way. So there's a few little tweaks it needs.
Yeah. Yeah. And every guy does it.
Yeah,
You get in the middle, putting it together, and you're like, oh, finally the screw went in the hole and I can do all the stuff. And then you realize I put it on the wrong way.
Yeah, which is funny because we had done the insulation, and then Christmas Eve, he's like, "I'm gonna put up the rig," and I'm like, "There's nothing else going on. Why wouldn't you do this wall first? This wall, this?" Gave him like a list of things I thought needed to be done first, and he was like, "Well, I don't think you understand. If the rig goes up, I'm gonna be 100 times more motivated to do everything else." And so I'm like, "Okay, do your process." And as soon as that rig went up, I mean, the past 3 months, he's gotten done a ton in the gym.
That's funny. My wife and I go through the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll have a list of things and she'll be like, why isn't this done? I'm like, well, that's number 4 on the list. And I want to finish
Exactly.
1, 2, and 3 first. And she's
Yep.
like, what? And then we get into a fight. And then it's like, oh, okay, I understand. And then
Yeah.
we move forward.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't talk because I'm not doing any of the work. But for him, I think putting the rig up brought it to life. And then he's like, I want to keep bringing it to life. Whereas in my head, I'm like, it's going to get dirty. It's going to get dusty, sandy. Put it up last. So it's perfect. But that's just a simple clean.
So you have some of the highest end recovery equipment already in the barn,
Oh,
whatever you're
we're
calling
gonna
it.
call it, I think, the goat zone, but it's a beautiful chili goat cold tub, like immaculate, and then a beautiful sweaty goat sauna. Ridiculous. Like I never in a million years would have thought we would have had such a nice recovery room. But the same thing, just like the blessings of more sponsors and more opportunities.
So I heard you say you'll always work out in your garage. That is your spot.
Yeah.
Well, with that recovery stuff, you will go recover out there, right?
I mean, I need to, but here's the hard part, Scott. It's like I would almost need to hire a babysitter to use my recovery stuff back there. Because I don't know. It's hard for me because I'm already investing a lot of time in working out in the gym. Last thing I want to be like is like, hey Blakely, you wait inside with dad. I need an hour to myself again after I already took 2 hours. I need to use it more than I do, but it's hard to find the right time.
I can see that.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't the one thing I've noticed, like training camps and stuff, like I've been to a few and like seen the other athlete lifestyle. Like they'll train, go home, read a book, train, go home, take a shower, do all this. And I'm like, man, I don't have the free time to just cold plunge sauna for an hour.
Okay, so now you're taking me down another road.
Yeah, sorry.
Would you enjoy that life, right? You're so like this is your thing, and you've kind of perfected the methodology that works for you.
Right.
Would you be an athlete that would love just working out all day? Like I
I
can't
don't think
see that
so.
in you.
No, and I think for me, less is better. So even if I had all the time in the day, I don't think it would equate to a higher performance or higher recovery.
Yeah. So I do a show with Carolyn Prevost every Sunday night,
Yeah.
and she works full time as a teacher, right? So she has to really plan out her schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, like, I have to get everything done and I have to be efficient in that time because
Right.
I don't have more time. Like it is get that done and then get back to class or get back to grading papers or whatever it is. And I think that she has admitted to me, like, that's the only way she would know how to do life.
Right. Right.
She would be bored if all she did was worked out.
Yeah. Boring, and I think you'd get over it really quick.
But she's also said that with this new kind of season with a lot of different opportunities now, right? We've added Wodapalooza So Cal to the off season.
Right.
Fit Fest is now in its second season. We add
Right.
the WFP opportunities out there. She's like, it's better to do it the way I do it because I can stay fit all year round.
True.
I'm not doing like a mass like build up for one event.
Right. Right.
Because I can't afford to. I just have to stay as fit as possible throughout the year. Have
Right.
you thought about that? And do you think that the way you do it now fits that mold?
I think so. I enjoy fitness. So even if I don't have a competition coming up, I want to work out because I enjoy it. So for me, I would say I follow Prevo. I just stay fit year round. But like looking at my May, April, I'm starting to like amp it up a little bit more. Cause oh my gosh, May is gonna be ridiculous. Online semifinal for the games. World Fitness Project the next weekend. The following weekend, my in-person semifinal if I don't make it from the online semifinal. I think people misconceive it and they say like, "Oh, you athletes want more opportunities to compete," but it's like I've never heard an athlete say that. To where it's like now we have to. I mean, you can't peak for all three of those, so it's just being smart. What do I invest more of my fitness into?
Yeah, I think it gets confused with more opportunities to make money and sustain themselves,
Right,
and more opportunities to compete are two different things.
right. But I
Um,
think being fit all year round makes a month like that look less daunting because it's like it's just working out. I'll be fine. It's not like I'm not fit right now. It's like I'll just trust the fitness I have.
yeah, yeah. So along those lines, you have like I don't know, like a premium channel on Instagram where you show like your workouts sometimes during the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you video every day or just chosen days?
I show every day. So like if you subscribe, what I did today at 11, after I finish the workout, I post it at 12 to my subscribers.
Does that make you more accountable to getting the work done, or are you already in that zone where that's not a problem?
Yeah, I would say it's not a problem. But the thing, I thought there would be more of a market for it, which is why I opened up my subscription. Like, hey, if you want to see what I'm doing to stay at the level I am, subscribe. There hasn't been a huge market for it, which is fine. Now it's just kind of fun. Like, hey, I started it. I'll still post my workout if anybody wants to see. But do you want to know the biggest flex that I think I have from that?
Did I subscribe?
You and one other person.
Huh. Um, I don't know. I Rich Froning.
No, Daniel Brandon.
Oh,
So to me, I'm like, I'm still gonna post what I do. I don't really do scores, but to me, I'm like, man, somebody else finds value in it to see it every day. So I think that's a huge compliment.
she's just trying to get some intel.
She can. Like, I have no secrets. I won't share my strength stuff because that's my strength programmer who's made it specifically for me. But what comes up from my brain, I've got nothing proprietary other than it's helped me do what I've done.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
it's and at the end of the day, it's like I'll post it, but the secret sauce is the effort. And I know everybody puts in a hard effort, but like there's no secret programming. It's how hard you're gonna die and work on your weakness and all that fun stuff.
It's funny. We talked about like taking a step back and smelling the roses. And like one of my fondest memories of you is your first games when it was I think 400-meter run into the clean.
Yeah,
And then
that
you
one was
go back
fun.
out in the next one. You had every time you hit a clean, it was like you had done something you didn't believe you could do, and you did it, and you had the
Mm-hmm.
biggest smile on your face, and you hopped and then went out for the next run.
Right.
And to this day, you still treat all of this stuff like that woman who was enjoying every bit of that race.
You have to. I mean, with the burnout we're seeing and the turnover, if you lose the joy in the mundane, what can look mundane, it's over.
So, and I watched your relight video today.
Oh
In
yeah, well,
part for
didn't they
this.
do a good job?
They did.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go down this avenue where Blakely's been coming to more competitions this year.
Yeah. After what happened in August, I just had a big reality check of like, let's just go on more family trips. And like, I'm no longer peaking for a competition that has nothing to do with anything. Like, let's just enjoy these moments. Let's bring Blakely and just go to the beach and compete at SoCal. Go to London and, just soaking up family stuff more.
Well, and what's cool about it is like she's becoming part of your content. Like Dylan became a star through your content, and
Right.
now Blakely is doing the same thing.
Right.
And it's making it like a whole family thing, right?
Yeah.
Which is really cool for lack of a better term, your brand.
Oh, yeah. It's on brand.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, this is what we do at home. Now you get to see a little piece of it in California.
So my favorite part of that relight video is you had always talked, and you've talked with me about this, where Dylan knows that you need encouraged in a workout, not yelled at.
Hmm.
And that like he would yell, I believe in you, you're great, you're beautiful. And he would yell those things from the sidelines. And the first time you took Blakely to a competition where you could hear her, it's cool what happens when kids emulate their parents.
Right. And it's so pure. For those who haven't seen it, Blakely's cheering is believe in yourself. And I didn't take her to competitions to even know how she would cheer, how she would react. So, like, from the pureness of her heart, she thinks if all I do or all my mom does is believe in herself, she can lift 500 pounds on that bar. If she believes in herself, she can, it's just like the pureness of belief. You're great and all that comes with it. Yeah, that video made me tear up quite a bit because it's just so pure. It's not taught. We didn't tell her to scream that. It's just like came from her heart.
Yeah. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So
And
now, like, my marketing brain is like, I need a jump rope or something that says believe in yourself. Like, just a little reminder of, like, all you gotta do is believe in yourself.
so speaking of the jump rope, you became famous for a hair clip because you made the hair clip a character in your social
Yeah,
media, and it took
amazing.
off like a shot.
Yeah,
And then you started making them.
right.
So can you tell me what that process is like? And
Yeah. So, I mean, it all happened at Rogue. I competed. I usually work out with a hair clip because in the summer I started doing that. I sweat a ton. My hair was getting all sweaty back here. So at the games, I kind of wore it up for a few, and then I've just been wearing it up. So whenever I was at Rogue, I was like, I'm just gonna do what I always do in training. And if the event will allow it, I'll put it in a hair clip. And like the first day, I probably got 10 tagged stories of like, look at this hair clip. And then the next day, ridiculous because I wore it again. And then once the competition was over, I kind of tagged line. I work hard, but my hair clip works harder. And people just loved it. And the amount of people that would just work out and then wear a hair clip and tag me was insane. And so I had all these people messaging me, where do I get this hair clip? This magic hair clip that holds your hair. And I was like, why would I refer them to a different company? Like, I would love to just make it my own thing. So I originally outsourced them. And like, my whole thing is I have the free time to please the customer. I don't want to wait a month for orders to get shipped out. So I started taking over that process, found the hair clips I love, bought a laser engraver machine, figured out how it worked. So now, like, every order that comes in, I print it off on my computer, I laser engrave it, I package it, I ship it, take it to the post office. And it's become like my little side hustle. And it's so fun.
It's yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
like,
I
I don't have all the free time in the world, but I have the time to package them, brand them. And it's so fun to see.
so do you actually print the clips out on like a 3D printer or
No, the clips I outsource, like I
okay,
buy from a company, but the branding I do in-house myself. So
okay.
like
Cool.
in reality, you could go out on where I'm buying mine and buy your own. But what makes mine fun is I put the little tame the mane on it and then I package it, write a little thank you note and ship it. A little personal touch.
That's so cool. And then you
So
you
fun.
came up with Pretty Strong for a Mom.
Yeah. And this past off season has honestly been a blessing. And I've just been trying to grow the brand more to find value in myself, not value in who sponsors say I am. Because, like, one day that will leave and I'll have nothing. But if I can bring value to myself and a brand, so I really tried to do that this off season. Posted an Instagram caption. A lady commented, "Love this. Make it a t-shirt." So, of course, the first t-shirts I make, I send her a couple for free. Like, hey, this was your idea. Thank you for giving me the thought, and just started making Pretty Strong for a Mom, and phenomenal. The amount of DMs, I've only gotten two negative, about 100 positive of like what the brand means to them, how they found their strength as a mom, all the hard stuff they go through mentally, physically. And it's been fun to see a little community. So now I've I don't want to say I've built a community, but there's this awesome community of moms. So now I'm kind of tapping into, like, I want to help moms get back out on the floor. So I'm sponsoring teams that'll wear like the Pretty Strong for a Mom or use Pretty Strong for a Mom as their team name, just to get moms out there, give back a bit, because like moms never get stuff bought for them. Kids all the time. So it's like, here's a little good job, keep working hard. I love local competitions. Like, that's how I fell in love with the sport. So like if I can get people out there doing that, it's great.
And what I love is in your YouTube content, like if you see a shirt in the wild, you get all excited and then you
Oh
run over and want
yeah.
to get a picture.
Yeah. And I
Uh,
probably have given away, I give away so many t-shirts because I'm a sucker for like a, you tell me your story of strength. I'm like, take a shirt, you're great. So not only like that in the wild, but I'm constantly giving away just to like give back. Everything, we kind of talked about it before we went on air. Everything on social media right now is so dark and dividing. I'm just trying to find the little pockets of light and just try and let them grow.
yeah, it's a really cool thing. And it's funny because when you took third at the games, everybody's like fittest mom, and I was like, fittest mom, she's just fit. Like,
Yeah.
stop giving it. But now I see like you're embracing the mom part of it and it's becoming your brand, and you're just like, let's lean in and let's make this thing go.
Yeah. And it's fun because it's organic and natural. Like, I'm listening to the crowd in the comments, and if they think it's good and I see people posting about it, I'm going to try and make it happen. So it's been fun that I've been able to bring that to life and people find value in it. Like, one day, everybody's going to have a hair clip and I'm not going to sell anymore. But until then, I'm going to enjoy it while I can.
Yeah, everybody loses hair clips. I mean, my wife
Yeah,
keeps
that's
buying
true.
them, so I know that like there has to be an infinite supply somewhere.
Yeah. And I see them in the wild all the time. I go to HEB and there's hair clips everywhere. I'm like, mine is not proprietary, so I can't expect to take over the market. But, CrossFitters have been embracing it.
And have fun while you can.
Exactly. My goal, my secret goal is to retire Dylan at 40. So I'm doing all I can to retire him.
So that he can fall asleep beside you at 10 p.m. instead
Yeah,
of midnight.
exactly. It's the little things in life.
Um, so the next thing I have that I wanted to talk about was TYR Wodapalooza So Cal.
Hmm.
Completely different format than you've probably ever done before. It
Right.
was US versus the world, or North America versus the world. You go to that. TYR actually did an amazing behind the scenes for it.
Hmm.
It came out like 6 months after the fact, but it was fun to kind of relive and see what you guys did behind the scenes and the strategies and the smack talking and all of that stuff. How much did that help your grieving process after the games?
It
Because
was
it
very,
looked like just a fun thing to do.
yeah, it was very healing because they definitely honored Lazar, I felt, all weekend. And it was healing for all of us to come together and just like be on each other's team, supporting each other, trying to find ways so we can all succeed, so we can all win together. So, like, even though there was trash talk, it was very healing to be in the same room as people and be like, okay, we're doing this together. How do we succeed? How do we win? What are your weaknesses? And almost be a little bit vulnerable. So it don't, and then the crowd there too, it almost felt like a warm hug. Tier treated us with such respect. Every meal was brought in and catered, and it was like they went above and beyond just to make us feel loved and appreciated. Not that we need people to bow down, because I feel like people take that out of context, but it's just nice. It's nice to feel cool and special, and they definitely made us feel like that.
How excited are you that they're doing it again this year?
I'm excited, but part of me doesn't think I'll make the cut this year and I won't be there. So it's like, oh, I'm excited, but we'll see if I get invited. Because we're not, like, not just to be humble, but like, I think athletes saw how much fun it was. People are going to be fighting for those spots.
Yeah. Um, but I think you're one of the best in the world, so I think that you have a legit claim to one of those spots.
Thank
But
you.
um,
There's a lot of great people. That's where I'm like, if I get invited, I'll be excited. If I don't, it's okay. I've already prepared for the worst and I'll be fine.
um, what was your highlight from that weekend?
There were a couple highlights. That was the first competition I really brought Blakely on. So it was really, really fun to have a family vacation, sit at the beach, hear her cheer for me. Like the whole family aspect was really fun. And the hotel had free s'mores. So every night, like the team would go get s'mores, Blakely would get s'mores. And then a huge highlight was my PR clean, PR snatch, because I had worked like hardest I've ever worked on a strength cycle throughout the summer this past year. And it was just really cool to see like my strength guy is really good at what he does. Granted, I had taken a month off from lifting and could hit 250 and a 200-pound snatch. And I'm like, man, Brian is phenomenal and did exactly what I needed to in the summer. But I also feel like he prepared me for Rogue without even knowing it because I went into Rogue stronger than ever. So it was cool to see like I have the right people on my team, and I'm pretty strong for a mom.
There you go. Um, when you went up against Tia
Yeah.
and you tied her in the clean and just
Or
lost, was it tied
tied
her in
her
the
in the
snatch?
snatch. She got
Yeah,
me in the
tied her in
clean
the
and
snatch,
jerk.
and then she got you by 5 pounds in the clean.
Yeah.
I think it was West Coast, so I was in bed watching because that was 3 hours difference for us.
Hmm.
I jumped out of bed when you hit those lifts. Like I
Wild.
was so excited for you because I knew like that was something.
Yeah, it was cool. It didn't matter. Like in hindsight, Guy is so strong that we lost that event anyways. But it was fun to go into a lifting event with no pressure. And it's like, hey, take big jumps. Who cares? You might surprise yourself. That was fun.
Yeah. And speaking of your strength coach Brian, he had made a special bar for you, and I saw
Hmm.
that you got to a prototype from Rogue to
Yeah.
try out, and you said that it needed some tweaks. Did I see that right on your Instagram, or did you?
No, I would say there are a few things that are different, but I wouldn't say it needs any tweaks.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
so
Yeah.
they did pretty good first time out.
Yeah, they did awesome. So We went to Rogue for the Arnold, and Dylan was talking to Katie, the owner of Rogue, about how great this desk is because Rogue makes an industrial looking, beautiful desk that we could put in the back gym. And so I get a notification like, hey, you have a package coming from Rogue in a 2-part shipment. And Dylan's like, I bet you Katie ordered this desk for me and is sending it to our house. Like, Dylan's thinking this is all about him. So Rogue delivers to our front porch, and I'm like, man, this does not look like a desk. And then I open it, and it's the barbell, and it was the coolest thing ever because I didn't even know they had made it. They had sent it. I basically shipped them the barbell Brian had made over a year ago. Haven't really heard anything, so I didn't know if they liked it. And then like a custom Rogue, it has Ohio on the end, shows up, and it was just the coolest moment ever. I called my strength coach and was like, be here in 5 minutes. I've got the coolest surprise. And then we probably sat in the home gym at least 30 minutes, just like looking at the differences, feeling it, messing with it. It was a super cool moment.
How he must have felt to see this thing that he created produced by
Exactly.
like the leading fitness equipment provider in the world. Like
Right.
that had to be like the coolest feeling ever.
I know. So he's in there and he's all humble, like, this is great. And I'm like, Brian, you created something so great that like we sent it to Rogue and they liked it enough to make a prototype. And he's just like, "Well, if you didn't know Rogue, it would have never happened." And I'm like, no, Brian, like this is you. Be proud of yourself and like own it because this is awesome. So
Yeah.
now my hope is that everybody else can try the barbell. Because for me, I have like an elbow with tendonitis that flares up if I do too much of like the front rack. But this keeps me in a neutral grip so it doesn't aggravate anything. My PT loves it because it keeps everything stacked in place. So I'm like, from an athlete standpoint, from a PT standpoint, I think it's game changing.
That's so cool.
I know. So we'll see what
So
happens with it. But the fact that I have one in my garage is just the coolest thing ever.
well, I mean, I don't think they'd make a prototype without thinking that they might make more.
Right. And I don't see them going through the headache of making a mold, putting it together for just a one off.
Right. So speaking of Rogue, then Rogue is overseas for the first time ever. It's
Right.
in Aberdeen, Scotland. You travel over there. Again, you have become one of the best content producers in the space. You and Rebecca Fuselier are like competing for top honors.
Well, she gave me, I told you like 2 years ago, I talked with her at Wodapalooza, and I'm just like, how do you do what you do? Because at this point, I was doing a lot of cool edits and very like selfish focused. And she's like, the more you can make relatable stuff that people can send to their friends. So she changed my perspective and helped me a lot. So she's number one.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
it is cool.
so you go over there and then you and Danny do like the Hogwarts tour
Yeah,
in Scotland.
it was
Um,
awesome.
but you get into the weekend and you end up podiuming. When did you know that was going to be one of those weekends?
Man, you're gonna laugh at me, Scott. I didn't know till it was over. So I went into the final day thinking it was gonna go really well for me. I had practiced the sideways pegboard a lot, and I was really good at it. And then 3, 2, 1, go. I got out there on the floor, and it's the first time I ever felt like my brain was just a blank piece of paper. And it was just like, I have no idea how to do this pegboard. I have no idea what to do, but I keep failing and failing and failing. So after that event, I was like, okay, there was a shot to podium, but now there's no way because I just bombed this event that I selfishly went into it thinking I was going to win that event. So I had a humble check really quick. And then the next event went fine. And going into the last event, please stop. Going into the last event, Gazan was up on me by like 15 points. And on paper, Gazan is better at me than this event. Heavy, odd object, sandbag cleans. She is stronger than me and like she can throw around stuff. So I had just kind of accepted fourth place at Rogue is phenomenal. I don't really care, but I'm going to go out there and just lift the sandbags as fast as I can. And I'd tell you a God thing. I've never felt so good lifting a sandbag. And like all the sandbags went good. And I remember on the final sandbag, Spiegel's screaming at me because she finished, miles ahead of anybody else. She says, pick up the bag right now. And I remember thinking in my head, I don't care. I'm out of breath. My muscles are on fire. I'm just going to listen to her and lift it, take a chance, see what happens. I get it up there. I run across the finish line. Half a second later, Laura Horvath runs across. Half a second later, Brooke Wells. Half a second later, Alex Gazan. So if in that moment I didn't trust my fitness and just like shut my brain off and say, yes, I will, two people would have passed me and then it would have been fourth place. So just such a fun way to end a competition, being really proud of myself, pushing my limits, and then just hugging Spiegel at the end of it. It was definitely one of the highlights of my career, like being proud of myself and finishing an event strong.
Kenneth DeLapp, Hogwarts wasn't in Scotland. Well, technically Hogwarts
It was
doesn't
written.
exist.
Right. Yeah.
But they were pretending with the castles and all the stuff, and right. Like you just were in the moment. That's all.
Yeah, and a lot of the Harry Potter was written in Scotland, Edinburgh, so we got to see a lot of the places for inspiration that the writer wrote it. But
Okay.
what I realized is I can't podium at competitions because Dylan can't handle it. He'll go out and celebrate like he's never celebrated before. So like the trip of Edinburgh the next day with Spiegel, Dylan was in bed hungover. So for the betterment of our vacations, like I can't keep doing that to him.
Well, I know that when I've been at events with Dylan, he yells so loud.
Yeah.
There's no way he can talk by Monday.
No.
And then you add alcohol and hangover to that. I'm sure like he is a total disaster.
Yeah, he is. But I mean, I do it to him. If I didn't get third place, he would have never celebrated.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know like you have a special place for like the things that you've like won and podiumed. Where does the Rogue medal go with all that?
Right now it's on the dining table. My special belts are displayed on the dining table.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And now I'm getting blessed enough that I have so many cool things. At first it was just a shelf. Now I have to keep some stuff like hidden in the safe because I just don't, it's classy if you put a little bit up, but if you just like overload it, it doesn't look as good. So I'm blessed to say like I can't display it all perfectly.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I see like you on social when you went to the Granite Games, the story is you wanted one sign to hang in your garage with your name on it. And now like it's the wallpaper of the one side of your garage for sure. And I think even more than that. Right.
Now, like Dylan cuts me off and he says, I'm not hanging up any more signs. And I'm just like, stay humble. This is what I'm in it for.
CrossFit, we did it, babe.
Yeah.
We earned this party.
That's right. That was exactly him.
So you podium at Rogue and then you do Fit Fest. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, podium at Rogue. So the way up to Rogue, the airline messed up our flights, canceled it a day before, sold our tickets, and then because of all that deal, upgraded us to first class to make up for it. So flying overseas, me and Dylan had the best experience ever. First class, right? Flying back, our train breaks down, so we don't make our flight on time and we miss our flight and the airline will not refund us. So going home, we had to buy all new flights to get back to Midland. So thank goodness we made a little bit of money at Rogue because in one day we had to drop $6,000 on flights to get home. So that one hurt a little bit. But I learned if your train breaks down and you miss your flight, you have to call the airline and correct it before the flight takes off. My ignorance, I had no idea if the flight takes off, I guess any warranty is void. So we show up at the airport and man, that was a hard morning.
Map Lady says, I'm still laughing at him getting mad at the tiles on the paint. Him ripping them off to prove a point.
Oh, yeah. We have holes in our walls because I hung up something once and it wasn't straight. So he's like, because it's not straight, I can't handle this. I'm just gonna rip it off. And he ripped it off, and then there were holes in our wall. So now we have holes in our wall. But he proved a point.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So then you go from Rogue to Fit Fest in this busy off season of yours.
No, so get this, Scott. There was Rogue, right?
Yeah.
Then when we got back from Rogue, I flew for Reps Ahead
Oh,
in
that's right.
Colorado. And then the next weekend I hosted Thanksgiving. The next weekend we went to London. The next weekend Dylan's mother-in-law came for Christmas. So it was my mother-in-law, Dylan's mom came for Christmas. It was a busy, busy off season. And I started homeschooling in August. So throw that in the mix of all of it.
So you smoked Reps Ahead.
Yeah, it was hard. I will like that's the most in pain I've been in a competition in a long time.
Wow, I would have thought differently because of it being, well, you did a 2-day version of it.
Yeah.
So you had to do one workout one day and one workout the next day. I would think that it's a cool way to get exposure without beating your body up, but you're saying just the opposite.
On the second matchup against Trista, I personally hate sprints, and that workout was just 100% sprint max effort, and those just like hurt my soul so bad. I'd do a 1 hour long workout any day. A 4 minute sprint, count me out.
Yeah, that I really am starting to love those Reps Ahead events just because they're quick. It's easy to show your friend what our
Yeah.
fitness world is like without having them sit through a whole weekend.
Right.
And
it's
I
easy to
think
understand.
they do a great job with the screens and the counters, and you know where each person stands at all times.
Right.
It's just I think the longer they go, the better it's getting.
Yeah, but I feel like it's no more. Just from all the news I've heard, I think Reps Ahead, whoever was funding it, is no longer funding it. So like, I don't know. We'll see if it lasts in the future.
Yeah, I've seen the new stuff too. I don't know the behind the scenes enough to
I don't either.
know like where the funding is and all of that. Patrick Clark's in the comments and he's part of Reps Ahead, so I'm sure he'll let us know very quickly.
I know. We'll see.
So then you he says nope, it'll be back sooner than you think.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So then you go to the Fit Fest, which just seems to be a blast.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. Not the best, like, I mean, it's great competing, but the best community and people there. Like the fans and the volunteers, the athletes competing that are there all weekend. Like the best conversations. Like here's a perfect example. Dylan was wearing like a Hustle Made jacket and he left it backstage in Fit Fest. Lost it. We couldn't find it. One of the volunteers found it, flew it with them back to Wodapalooza and gave it back to Dylan at Wodapalooza. Just like people who are so nice and sweet that it would just blow your mind.
Well, and where else can you do an American Ninja Warrior course?
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Do you enjoy doing those like out of the gym types things?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love the odd, like, did you play on the jungle gym as a kid? We're about to find out. Can you adapt on the fly? Like I thrive in chaos.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Kenneth asks, how is Colton as a teammate? He seems more of like a lone wolf type.
He is more of a lone wolf type, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Like we had a lot of personalities on that team. Colton was fun. I was the team captain. So like when the workouts came out, I tried to like help organize the team. Colton was awesome because we'd be like, what do you want to do? What are you bad at? He's like, don't put me in this, put me in this, put me in this, put me in this, and I'll win it. And I'm like, thank you. Complete transparency, knows exactly what he's good at, what he's not good at, and just gets the job done. So like him and Dylan became good friends because we talked to him a lot. But like there's a lot of personalities in CrossFit. It's kind of refreshing to have somebody who's just like stone cold.
Yeah. No drama.
Yeah, no drama. If he sucks, he'll tell you he sucks at it. If he's great, he'll tell you he's great at it.
Yeah. I wish they would find a way to. I know Patrick tried to stream it, but the internet was really choppy. It would have been cool to see more of that because
Yeah.
I think it's a cool event if people could see it.
Yeah, and the points were close. It's not like one team was miles ahead of the other. It was a fun race all weekend.
Yeah. And you guys, and when the athletes are having fun, it comes across in the broadcast, right, for the spectator.
Right.
And we need more of that. So then to finish up your off season, and then we'll let you get out of here, is you went to Wodapalooza.
Yeah.
And from all of your YouTube stuff, I don't think it went as you had planned.
No. I said yes to a lot this past year. I should have said no to Wodapalooza. But hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. And so looking back with all of the choices you had from SoCal to Reps Ahead to Rogue to, you're never going to say no to Rogue. Nobody's going to say no to Rogue.
No, exactly.
Do you look back and say, man, I should have cut this and this, and you don't have to tell me which ones, but just like in retrospect, you're like, man, I could have scheduled this out better.
I would have just cut Wodapalooza. Everything else was like a 10 out of 10, amazing experience. I think I'm invincible and I think I'm better than I am. And at Wodapalooza, I just was not good. So it's humbling to be like, man, even like there's levels. And if you don't show up ready and prepared, I did on the first time ever had a few judging things that happened that never happened to me before. So that was kind of eye-opening and humbling to see as an athlete. Like, man, there's things out of my control. But how am I going to respond to it? Am I going to yell on the floor? Or am I just going to be like, who cares? It's CrossFit. Like, go about my day. So I grew a lot as an athlete. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the bad. But yeah, I should have known my limits and said like, no, we need to stay home.
And you did a team with Emily and Abigail.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Very different athletes. So like they're both very tall, endurance-y, and I'm shorter, not going to be great at running, but I'll do the gymnastics. So I felt like we evened each other out a lot.
Do you like the team aspect of Wodapalooza?
I do. It's definitely, I think if I do Wodapalooza in the future, I need to just do team. It's fun. I think it's fun to come together and like use our strengths and weaknesses to try and beat other people.
Yeah, it's funny because you work out in your garage alone all the time, but like you talk about how fun it was to be on a team at SoCal, at FitFest, at Wodapalooza. Is that just the change of pace you need throughout the season to?
Yeah, team stuff is more lighthearted. So it's more lighthearted. It's more smiling at the crowd. It's more throwing hair clips. Do your best, contribute to the team, but there's not as much individual pressure.
I am the exact opposite. Like if I'm on a team, I end up throwing up behind the gym. I end up
no.
Because I'm so nervous and like I give more than I'm probably capable of, and then my body can't handle it. And
you're a good teammate then.
Yeah. But the pressure I put on myself in a team is so much. And I'm nowhere near an elite athlete like you guys, but
you
man,
get it.
Yeah. And individually, like I can let myself down and be okay with it at the end of the day.
Right.
Well, that hurts. I'm going to stop.
Yeah. No, I don't blame
And I'll
you.
still go home to my wife and my dog and be happy in my house.
Right. That's all you need.
So, this has been awesome. It's been awesome catching up.
Yeah. Thanks for having me back on. It's been great.
We're hitting that hour, and that's how we like to end it. Thank you so much. And everybody in the chat, sorry I couldn't get to a lot of the comments. You guys, they were flying in so fast I couldn't keep up. But thank you for being here. And everybody, tune in. Kat has her new show tonight at 8 p.m. And then we have lunch with the Clydesdale the rest of the week, and Sunday night CrossFit Talk this week, where we're going to try to stay live until the age group semifinals are leaderboards are locked, and we can see who possibly made it to the games and who didn't. So with that, see everybody next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.